Hi there. Hope you're having a good day. Today is just a basic sequence, no props needed, nothing special. So if you're ready, go ahead and find a comfortable seat. As usual, you can sit on the ground. You can sit on something to prop your hips up. You could also sit on the edge of a chair, the edge of your sofa, whatever you need. Once you get there, feel free to close your eyes, to turn your attention inward, towards your heart, towards your breath. Start to feel your seat and evenly distribute your weight between both bum cheeks. And from your seat, lift and lengthen the crown of your head up towards the sky. Now, send your breath in between each vertebra of your spine. Imagine your inhales and exhales weaving in and out of your spine, creating length and buoyancy and space. Now that you've created some length in your spine, bring your attention to your facial features. Relax your jaw. Allow your tongue to be heavy in between the bottom row of your teeth. Soften your eyes and soften the space behind your eyeballs. Even soften the space between your eyebrows. And now, keeping your facial features soft, start to pay attention to your breath. Allow your inhales to expand your belly, and allow your exhales to retract your belly. And as you're ready, slowly blink your eyes open. Well, Vinny's here with us. That's my dog. So we're gonna stay seated. So if you need to, you can switch the cross of your legs. You can even extend your legs out straight. Whatever you need. We'll start with, we're gonna work on lengthening side bodies today. So we'll start with some seated side bending. Place your right hand outside of your right thigh onto the ground, and then lift your left arm up in line with your ear. And now squeeze your shoulders in, lift your chin slightly, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, maybe bend into your right elbow. Try to feel your shoulders stack, so your shoulders in one line. Even your lungs stack, your ribs. On your next inhale, come on up. Place your left hand outside of your left thigh. Reach your right arm up in line with your ear. And now squeeze your shoulders in, lift your chest. Take a deep breath in, And as you exhale, bend into your left elbow, side body stretch, other side. Now here, focus your breath onto your right side body. Send your breath through your rib cage to the muscles on your right side. On your next inhale, come on up. Relax your hands onto your lap. Now, if you're seated onto something, go ahead and remove it. Or if you're seated on your couch or a chair, go ahead and come to the floor if that's okay. And bring the soles of your feet together to touch. Knees will fall open wide. And now use your hands. You can grab onto right underneath your knees. You can grab onto your shin. You could even grab onto your ankles. And now lift the crown of your head up and tone your low belly subtly. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, you can stay just like this or start to round forward, bringing your forehead to or towards your feet. If you are bowing forward, coming forward, let your low back round. This is a safe place to allow that rounding to happen. On your next inhale, go ahead and lift up. Extend your right leg out to the right, towards straight, and bend your left knee. So the sole of your left foot, it can either come to touch your right inner thigh, or you can work with space. And now flex your feet, flare your toes. On your next inhale, lift both arms up overhead. As you exhale, reach your right hand down outside of your right leg, or for your right foot. Reach your left arm up in line with your ear. And now this is more about the side body stretch than it is the hamstring stretch. So if you feel your low back here, don't worry about grabbing your foot. Just place your right hand outside of your leg. Breathe deeply into your left side body. On your next inhale, come on up. Place your left hand outside of your left hip. Reach your right arm up in line with your ear. Take a deep breath in. Lift your chest and your chin. As you exhale, you can stay just like this or bend into your left elbow. Take the side body stretch on the opposite side. Activate your feet by flexing your feet, flaring your toes. On your next inhale, come on up and switch sides. This time extend your left leg out to the side, bend your right knee so the sole of your foot comes to or toward the root of your left thigh. So that could mean sole of your foot touches the inner part of your left thigh, or you work with space. Do flex your feet, flare your toes. On your next inhale, lift both arms up. As you exhale, tip your torso to the left, bring your left hand outside of your left leg or down to your left foot. Reach your right arm up in line with your ear. Now again, this pose is all about side body stretching. So if you feel this is too much here to grab for your foot, hand outside of leg onto the floor is a nice place to be. Breathe into your right side body. On your next inhale, come on up. Place your right hand outside of your right hip. Lift your left arm up. And now flex your feet, flare your toes again. Take a deep breath in, lift your chest. As you exhale, bend into your right elbow. Take the side body stretch, other way. Opposite way. Here, breathe into your left side body. 2 more breaths. On your next inhale, come on up. Extend both legs out in front of you. You can pedal out your knees. And then find stillness through your legs. Flex your feet, flare your toes, and dig your heels down into the ground. And now frame your hips with your hands. Squeeze your shoulders in, lift your chin. just above your throat line. This is staff pose. Breathe. On your next exhale, slowly release staff pose and come on to all fours in table pose at the center of your yoga mat. So table pose, hands will be underneath your shoulders, knees will be underneath your hips. You can tuck or untuck your toes, whatever feels good to you. Make sure your hands are shoulder width distance apart. Your pointer fingers point straight ahead. And now separate all 10 of your fingers evenly, even pull your thumbs back towards your face. On your next inhale, round your back like a cat, pull your chin in toward your chest and scoop your tailbone forward. As you exhale, cow pose, bring your shoulders in, let your hips move up and back and gaze straight ahead. Inhale, round your back, cat pose, press the floor away from you. Exhale, concave your spine, cow pose, bring your shoulders in, look straight ahead. 2 more rounds. Inhale, cat pose, breathe into your upper back body. Exhale, cow pose, squeeze your shoulders in. Last round, inhale, cat pose. And exhale, cow pose. Come back to a neutral spine and bring your big toes together to touch. Separate your knees wide and start to send your hips back towards your heels. Now walk your hands back so your hands are right underneath your shoulders. You're in this like squatted child's pose position here. Thread the needle. Inhale, float your right arm out to the side, palm will point down. And as you exhale, thread your right arm underneath your left arm. Bring the right side of your face down to the ground. Walk your left hand up and off of your yoga mat and come up high onto your fingertips. Plug your left shoulder in and press down through the back of your right arm entirely. Breathe deeply into the right side of your upper back. And see if you can soften your jaw. Press down through your left hand. Inhale, float your right arm up. And on your exhale, release your right hand down. Hand underneath your shoulder. Inhale, float your left arm out to the side, palm points down. As you exhale, thread your left arm underneath your right. Come down to the left side of your face. Walk your right hand off of your yoga mat slightly and come up high onto your fingertips. Plug your right shoulder in. Press down through the back of your left arm and breathe into the left side of your upper back. Press down through your right hand, and as you inhale, float your left arm up. On your exhale, release your left hand down. Come back through table pose, so your shins will be parallel again to the long edges of your mat. Hands shoulder width distance apart, pointer fingers point straight ahead. And now we're gonna do tail wag versions of cat-cow. So instead of going, pressing forward and concaving the spine, bump your hips over to the right and look over your right shoulder, almost like you want to look back at your right bum seat. And then bump your hips to the left, gaze over your left shoulder, other side. Come back over towards the right, bump your hips to the right, look to the right. Switch sides, bump your hips to the left, gaze to the left. Last round. Look to the right, bump your hips to the right, and come back through the left. Look to the left. All right, come back through center. One more pose here on our hands and knees. So if you need a break, I'm gonna demo this really quick. It's tiger, opposite arm, opposite leg. So there's lots of things happening in this pose. It's all about strengthening the core, and also the focus is side body long today. So I'm gonna do this to the side to show you first. I'll start with the leg. So first the leg will go back, and then the opposite arm will go back. And so this is all about trying to find length. So see here, like you can really kind of crunch through your side bodies here, but it's all about reaching through your toe tips, through your fingertips. Okay, here we go. Come on to all fours if you're not there already. Extend your left leg back behind you. Point your foot, point your kneecap down. And then extend your right arm out in front of you, point your palm in. Now, if you fall out of it, it's okay. Come back to it. It's all about toning your low belly here and lifting up through the back of your left thigh so your glutes engaged, all the while finding length, space through your side bodies. On your next exhale, release, right hand, left leg. You can take a break by pressing your hips back, maybe giving your wrists a break if you need. And we'll come back through center. This time extend your right leg back behind you, point your foot, point your kneecap down. Now you can stay here, where this time extend your left arm out in front of you, point your left palm in. Now tone your low belly, move your belly button in towards your spine. Lift up through the back of your right thigh so your glutes engaged. Keep both of those engagements and then find length through your side bodies. If you fall, come back into it. It's totally okay. On your next exhale, slowly release. Come back through table, bring your big toes together to touch, send your hips towards your heels, and walk your hands forward, child's pose. Bring your forehead to or towards your yoga mat, and crawl your hands forward so the entire underneath of your arms is lifted. Your wrists, your forearms, your upper arms, even your armpits are lifted up. Squeeze your shoulders in and breathe. Take a look forward at your hands and place your left hand where your right hand is. Walk your right hand out shoulder width distance apart, and then relax your forehead to or toward the floor. Breathe into your left side body here. 2 big breaths. Walk your hands back through center, and this time place your right hand where your left hand is. Walk your left hand out shoulder width distance. Relax your forehead. Squeeze your shoulders in and breathe into your right side body. Tone your low belly slightly. Take another big breath here. Start to crawl your hands back through center and press yourself up into table pose. Okay, now from table pose, step your right foot forward in between your hands. On your next inhale, lift your torso, bring your hands to your hips. Engage your left glute, stay here, work your hips down and forward towards the top of your yoga mat. Now you can keep your hands to your hips or extend your arms out in front of you, point your palms in. Shrug your shoulders up, plug your shoulders back. Notice how much space and length you have through your side bodies here. Lift your lungs and lift your chin parallel to the floor. On your exhale, release your hands. Walk your left hand out so it's underneath your shoulder. Bring your right hand to your right hip. And now tone your low belly, twist your torso to the right. Hug your right inner thigh in. Keep your hand to your hip or reach your right fingertips up to the sky. Low lunge with a twist. Be sure that your left shoulder isn't moving forward, but you're moving your left shoulder in towards your spine. And you can look down towards the floor. You can look out towards the right. You can look up past your right fingertips. On your next exhale, release your right hand down. Tuck your left toes under, lift your left knee up, come back, downward facing dog. This is the first down dog of class. So just notice here what your right side feels like in comparison to your left side. And then slowly lower your knees down to the ground. Table pose. This time step your left foot forward in between your hands. And on your next inhale, lift your torso up, bring your hands to your hips to start. Engage your right glute. You can stay lifted or start to work your hips down and forward towards the top of your mat. Keep your hands to your hips or extend your arms out in front of you, point your palms in. Shrug your shoulders up, plug your shoulders back. Keep the engagement through your right glute and lift your lungs, lift your chin parallel to the floor. Notice how much space and length you've created through your side bodies here. On your next exhale, release both hands to frame your front foot. This time walk your right hand out so it's underneath your shoulder. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Now the tendency can be here for that knee, your left knee, to splay outward. Can you squeeze your left inner thigh towards the midline of your body? Now before doing anything else, plug your right shoulder in towards your spine as opposed to coming forward. That can be really compromising to the front of the shoulder. So plug your shoulder in. From your bottom right rib, twist open to the left. You can keep hand to hip or reach your left fingertips up to the sky. Now again, depending on how your neck feels today, you can look down at your right hand. You can look out to the left. You can even look up past your left fingertips. As long as there's no crunching in your neck, you're in a safe spot. Take another big breath here. On your exhale, release your left hand down. Tuck your right toes under, lift your right knee up, and press back, downward facing dog. All right, here in down dog, feel free to pedal out your feet. You can roll onto the inner and outer edges of your feet. You can wag your tail. You can also stay still. Just take note of how your body feels here. All right, when you're ready, lower forward into plank pose, top of a push-up. Always feel free to lower your knees. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, lower down. Walk your feet back, create space through the fronts of your hips. And now press down through all 10 of your toes so much that your kneecaps lift up. So you're pressing down through the tops of your feet. Press your pelvis down and then extend your arms out in front of you, point your palms in. And now move your hands back in space, squeeze your shoulders in. That will lift your chest slightly. Now you can stay here or float your feet up off of your yoga mat. Keep pressing your pelvis down. You can keep your hands as they are or lift your wrists in line with your shoulders. This is superhero. Breathe into your side bodies here. At the bottom of your next exhale, release. Frame your torso with your hands, tuck your toes under. Slowly, gently, press yourself up through table into downward facing dog. Bend your knees and start to walk your hands back towards your feet for a forward fold at the back of your mat. Relax your head, relax your neck. And now lean weight forward into the balls of your feet. That will stack your hips right over your feet, your ankles. On your next inhale, bring your hands to your shins, lift up halfway. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, bring your hands to your shins. Exhale, forward fold. Last one. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. On your next inhale, lift both arms up overhead, upward hands pose. As you exhale, release your hands down by your sides, mountain pose. Bring the inner edges of your feet as close together as you can. So that could mean the inner edges of your feet come together to touch, or your feet can stay hip-width distance apart. Just make sure all 10 of your toes point straight ahead. Bring your right hand to your right hip, lift your left arm up in line with your ear. Now press down through your feet, squeeze your legs in, press your tailbone forward, tone your low belly. Inhale, stretch up out of your waist. As you exhale, tip your torso to the right, hips to the left. Standing crescent, hand to hip. This is our peak pose for class. Breathe deeply into your left side body. Peak pose means we're nearing the end of class. On your next inhale, lift up, switch sides. Left hand to your left hip, right arm up in line with your ear. Well, nearing cool down and then the end of class, so the end of class. Press down through your feet, squeeze your inner thighs in, press your pelvis forward, tone your low belly. On your next inhale, stretch up. As you exhale, tip your torso to the left, hips to the right. Breathe. Now, if you have any low back pain here, just lift up slightly and squeeze your inner thighs in like you want to pop something in between them. On your next inhale, come on up. Release your hands. You can shake out your arms, shake out your legs if you need to. Inhale, float your arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold, crawl your hands forward, downward facing dog. Lower your knees down to your yoga mat and come to lie down onto your back. Take your time getting there. Start with your knees bent, both soles of feet to the ground, and extend your arms out to the side. Palms will point up. And now separate your feet as wide as your yoga mat. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, let your knees fall to the right. Flex your feet, flare your toes, and clamp your knees closed. So you're on the outer edge of your right foot, inner edge of your left foot. Tone your low belly and keep pressing your left shoulder down. Take 2 more breaths here. On your next inhale, float your knees up through center and exhale fully. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, let your knees fall to the left. Flex your feet, flare your toes, and clamp your knees closed. So this time you're on the outer edge of your left foot, inner edge of your right foot. Tone your low belly subtly and keep your right shoulder pressing down. This is double diamond pose. On your next inhale, bring your knees up through center. Extend your legs out straight. Point through your feet. Reach your arms up overhead. Take a full body stretch. And just notice the length you may feel throughout your side bodies. And as you're ready, let your legs relax. Bring your hands down by your sides. Open open your arms up as wide as you need to point your palms up to the sky. We are at adult nap time. We're at the end of class, and we call this Shavasana, which simply translates to final resting pose. Allow your breath to return to its normal breathing rate. And soften your entire body so you feel fully supported by the ground underneath you. We'll be here for a short but sweet amount of time, so please enjoy your rest. This is Shavasana. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Turn your head slowly, gently side to side. Feel free to reach your arms up overhead. Take one more full body stretch. And roll to whichever side of your body is calling to you right now. Take your time, and as you're ready, press yourself up into a seat to face your screen. Feel free to rest your hands on your thighs or bring your palms together at your heart. You can close your eyes or gaze somewhere in the room that brings you comfort. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing your sacred time, and thank you for practicing yoga with me today. As always, if you have questions, comments, concerns, points of clarification, please reach out. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day. I'll see you next week.